Welcome to Fanatics Live, where we virtually connect you with your favorite stars and athletes right at home. Tonight, we will be meeting with fans, signing autographs, and engaging in live Q&A. Now, let's welcome our host.
Well, hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Fanatics Live, where we bring your favorite athletes to you right at home. My name is Kelsey Wingert, and I am so excited to bring in tonight's guest. We know you guys are too, because this is going to be a fun one. So before we get started, I do want to let you guys know that today's show is brought to you by the FanCash Rewards Card by Fanatics. As a FanCash Rewards card holder, you'll receive benefits and perks, including access to unforgettable experiences with athletes. You'll earn 6% FanCash on every purchase, exclusive deals, offers, and so much more. Now, baseball fans, you with me? Because we have a good one today. We have a baseball legend, a Hall of Famer. He holds one of the most respected records in all of sports, with most consecutive games played at 2,632. We'll likely never see that record broken again. He had a 21-year career, all with the same team, a 19-time All-Star, 8-time Silver Slugger, one of the best shortstops to ever do it. Today, we have the Iron Man. We have Oriole great, of course, Cal Ripken Jr. Hello, Cal.
Hi, Kelsey. It's good to be with you.
We're excited to have you. This will be a fun show. We have a few fans waiting to ask you some questions, but if you're okay with it, I would love to ask you a few questions myself before we hand it over to them.
Sure, don't make them too hard, though, please.
Oh, that's all I know. Tough questions. Come on. Well, I have to ask you, because obviously the World Series just ended, and man, what a crazy we got November baseball this year. I love that for us. I got to get your take on the matchup and the Braves. I mean, winning it all when they were, 40-41 at the All-Star break?
Yep, I might disappoint you a little bit. I didn't watch every pitch and watch it like sometimes I do. I was pulling for Atlanta. I thought Atlanta was on a good roll. Houston's a good ball club. Normally, I pick the American League team just because that's where I played. Excuse me.
You're totally good.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
But exciting game nonetheless. It was fun watching Freddie Freeman. He's one of my favorites. And he swung the bat pretty well. And they played well. So I know all the networks want to make sure it goes at least 6 to make the money. But I always pull for a long series because I like to see the pressure start to build and see how people play under pressure. We inducted Derek Jeter into the Hall of Fame this year. And he was the one that I don't think he knew what pressure was all about. It was the same for him whether he played in November of the World Series. And it's good to see how players react when everything's on the line. Yeah,
I think we were all pulling for a Game 7. But I'll tell you, I live in Atlanta, and this city is just going absolutely bonkers right now. I hope you can make it out to a game at Truist sometime, because it's an incredible environment down here. But it was a great series. But like I said, we were all rooting for a Game 7.
So the Orioles won the World Series back in '83, which is a long, long time to remember back. And there was excitement centered around that. And there's nothing like the parade where everybody gets to share in the celebration and the relief that it's all over. I got a chance to play on one World Series champion team, so I know what it feels like. But man, I wish I would have had that feeling more times.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I have a podcast with Peter Moylan, and we cover up and coming guys. And we talked about Ryan Mountcastle a ton this year. There's some exciting players on the Orioles. But I asked Peter if there was one question he could ask you, what would it be? And he said, I just want to know what he's up to nowadays. I mean, we know that you're busy in the community. We know that you're still in baseball. But if you could just catch us up on what your life is like right now, what it looks like.
I'm fading off into the sunset. No, I mean, we've built a couple kids businesses. We teach baseball a little bit, but we also have tournament destinations. We built 3 models, one in Aberdeen, Maryland, which is my hometown, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Those are really good models that we're looking to scale and put in other parts of the country. So that business took us a little while to get that model right.
Yeah.
But now that business is going off by itself. We started a foundation in the name of my dad.
Oh, that's really cool.
Well, I got a little problem in my throat today.
I know that always happens at the worst times.
It seems like it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But the foundation works really well. We served over 1.5 million kids last year.
Wow.
We're virtually in every state. It's all the kids that don't have all the same advantages as some other kids. And Dad used to use baseball to get in front of him just to create a mentorship or create a partnership with those kids. So that's what we do. I did have a bout with prostate cancer. I don't know if you know about that. Right at the start of COVID, it was a big scare in your life, so it makes you reevaluate where you are and what you want to do. So I'm taking things a little bit more easy. I bought a boat. I explored the Chesapeake Bay quite a bit.
Love that for you.
And it's a pretty good life, though. It feels like you wake up, you look out at the water, it feels like you're on vacation every single day. So I'm doing all right.
Love the boat. Love the boat. You deserve that. And we know, sports, they've changed so much. I mean, you hear all the time, old school baseball, new school baseball. It's been constantly evolving as far as technology, recovery routines, the changes that are made to rules to make the game and however you view it more exciting or difficult or shorter or longer. Is there a new age element of baseball that you wish you had during your playing time?
Yeah, I'm very analytical, so I love the analytics. I mean, the problem is sometimes they're trying to figure out how to apply, that information to the game. I would have loved to have that information at my fingertips to decide how I want to play guys in the field, how am I going to attack the pitcher on the mound. All that information to me was really helpful. My goodness.
You are totally fine. Do you need to step away?
Yeah, I think you guys asked me if I was a cat lover when I off the air, and I said I wasn't. So now I'm starting to get a fur ball or something.
Oh, it's my fault. It's my fault. My cat had jumped up, and I didn't want her jumping up during the show. If you didn't like.
So I like the newness of the game. I mean, some of the things I don't particularly care for the ghost runner that goes on second base to decide a game. I think you need to earn your way on there. I know they're trying to make the game more fun and more interesting and quicker.
Yeah.
But I think the game is beautiful just the way it is, in many ways. And if you learn more about what's going on in those slow moments, the thinking that takes place, it's a thinking person's game.
Yeah.
And I loved it for that reason. There's more knowledge on working out. There's more knowledge on nutrition and all that kind of stuff in the game today, which I think is great. I think players sometimes eat 4 meals inside the stadium.
Oh yeah.
On a particular day, so they're well fed, and both from an information standpoint, but also from a food standpoint. So I think I would enjoy a lot of the elements of the game.
Yeah.
It constantly evolves, and I think as a former player, I don't want to be one that says, "Oh, it was better when I played," or "The game was executed better when I played." They're bigger, stronger, faster. If you can say that you've added something to the game in your time frame, I think that's a good way to look at it.
I'll tell you what, you hit the nail on the head talking about the food, because those snack closets in those clubhouses now are, and that's a whole Kroger going on in there. They are fully stocked. But we do have the guests that are waiting to come on. And if you're ready, I would love to bring in Takahiro. He's actually calling in from Japan, where it is 3 a.m. So he woke up just for this. He's calling in from Tokyo. And he said his first memory of the game of baseball is the freshly cut lawn and the smell of hot dogs. Let's go. And he said he would want to be considered the clutch hitter if he was playing for any pro team today. So we'll go ahead and bring in Takahiro, and he can go ahead and ask you his question.
Sure.
Hi, Mr. Ripken. Nice to meet you. I am Takahiro. I am so happy I can meet Hall of Famer, Mr. Iron Man. Thank you so much. I am so sorry I can't speak English. I am nervous.
Well, I had a chance to go to Japan a number of times to play, in an all-star team over there, 86, 96. We went over there as a Oriole team in 84. And I
Yes.
learned a few words in Japanese, but I was always very happy to talk to certain players through interpreters. And sometimes that's not the easiest way to go, but Mr. Kinogasa,
Yes.
the world record holder at the time for consecutive games, 2,215 games. I got the chance to meet him, and many times I often wondered if other people, how many times you get a chance to talk to somebody who's played 2,000 games in a row as well. And so to find out that he approached the game in a very similar fashion as I did made me feel good. It made me feel like I just wanted to be an everyday player. I wanted to be there for the team. And it was great to have a conversation with Sashio for him to give me that as well.
Thank you. May I ask you a question? Would you tell me the important significance of playing games every day for you?
What's the significance of playing every day?
Yes.
Is that the question?
Yes.
In my first year, in my rookie year, we went to the last day of the season to determine who was going to win the American League East. We lost to the Milwaukee Brewers on game number 162. We were tied after 161. And I think all of us looked back and said, we could have made a difference in one game. Where would we have made up that one game? In April, May? We should have won that game. We had a 2-run lead going into the ninth against Detroit. So I think I always thought the playoffs could boil down to one game. And it could be won or lost in April, May, June, July. So your job as a baseball player is to come to the ballpark ready to play that game. My dad used to say, you can't replay yesterday's game, although you can learn from it. And you certainly can't play tomorrow's game until it gets here. So you might as well worry about today. And that simple approach really helped me.
Thank you. I watched your game at Seattle Safeco Field 2001, your last All-Star game. I am very excited.
Was that Ichiro's rookie year, right? 2001?
Yes, I see.
Yeah. My locker was next to Ichiro that game.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to talk to him.
I watched to many your live game at the MLB stadium. Yes, and I will never forget this moment of today. Thanks, Mr. Ripken.
Yeah, thank you so much. The love of baseball is very obvious in Japan. We played before big crowds. They were very excitable during the games. And I think sometimes I wonder if they love baseball more than we love baseball, because high school games drew like 60,000 people.
Wow.
Thank you.
It was really cool.
Well, Cal, I know you have the jersey that you signed for him. Can we see it? Takahiro,
sure.
He's going to show you the jersey that he signed.
Can you read this? Let me see.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you.
It might be a little big for you, but try it on for size.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome.
Thank you
Nice
so
talking
much.
to you.
Go back to sleep.
I thank you for your kindness. Thank you again. Please keep healthy. See you again. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, Mr. Ripken. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. That was cool.
Love him. Oh, I love him. Yeah, he's very involved and he wakes up at crazy hours to come on, but he was very excited to meet you.
Have you been to Japan, Kelsey?
No.
It's a long trip.
Oh yeah.
Took me a few days to figure out whether it was night or daytime. So I can feel for him at 3:00 in the morning.
Well, I guess it's a 12-hour difference. Yeah, because he said it was 3 a.m. over there. His alarm must have just gone off. But he's committed, man. But we have Fran here too, who would love to ask you a question. He's calling in from South Carolina, Isle of Palms, and he said that he saw you hit your first ever major league home run in Baltimore. And he said that if he was in a hypothetical Hall of Fame, that he'd be inducted for their sacrificed flies. So let's go ahead and bring in Fran for his question.
Hi, Cal.
Hi, Fran.
Actually, we've met several times. We have a good common friend, Tim Bishop.
Good.
So I actually flew back from South Carolina last night, so I'm in Maryland. I split my time between two states, and I'm going to avoid speaking in Baltimoreese for all of our other guests. So, as a native Baltimorean, I know you can appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's great to see you, and it's great to hear you're in good health. So I was very pleased.
Yeah, I couldn't. I couldn't talk for a little while in the first part of the interview, but I think I'm okay now.
Well, I'm glad you came through your prostate cancer, and you're in good health, and wish you continued good health. I really struggled on what question to ask you, because I was thinking, should I focus on your baseball career or your post-retirement? Because I've failed twice at trying to retire. And I thought maybe you figured it out, but I decided to go with the baseball question instead. And I was always curious. I mean, I used to go down to spring training when Tim was there at Fort Lauderdale and watch you in the batting cage, and just watch you hit off of the tee, and you hit, my God, hundreds and hundreds of baseballs. Mm-hmm. But I was always curious as to whether or not there was a particular pitch that maybe early in your career gave you difficulty, but you overcame it. Whether it was a breaking ball or a curveball or some pitch in particular that you just couldn't hit it the way you wanted to hit it, and if you conquered it, how did you do? How did you do it?
So that's an interesting question. I would say most big leaguers can hit all the pitches. Sometimes certain pitchers throw you a pitch that seems to be invisible, and you don't know really why. Maybe it's the delivery. You remember Len Barker? Len Barker threw a complete game, perfect game for the Cleveland Indians. He was part of that staff over there. They had really good pitchers. And every time I faced Len, he would throw me this slider that I could look for it and try to look for the spin and try to wait for it. And he would throw it up there, and I would just wave at it and miss it. So it was a guaranteed 3 strikeout game for me every time we played him. And when you say, how do you overcome that? So we were playing in a game in Cleveland. It was a tie game. The hitter before me hits a double, sends the runner to second and third with 1 out. And now it's really important. Today they don't worry about striking out too much, but I mean, I was waiting over there for Eddie Murray to come out of the dugout because he was hitting fourth, to ask him what do you think I should do. And I said, man, I can't pick this pitch up, Ed. What do you think I should do? What adjustments do you think I should make? He goes, well, you better make contact. You better not strike out. And I went, well, thanks, Ed, and went to the plate. So I stood close to the plate, and I was anticipating the breaking ball, and the first pitch hit me in the middle of my back. And I was really happy. I was successful going to first base. But it's really interesting. I was a really good breaking ball hitter and changeup hitter, and you would say that, people would say you were a guess hitter. I think I was an educated guess hitter. You look for patterns, and you look for how the pitcher got you out, what you thought you could hit. So you had every time you went to the plate, you had a plan that you tried to execute on how to hit. And so I love looking for a breaking ball, love looking for a changeup, in certain counts, because some pitchers would fall into those patterns. 2-0, 3-1, they would throw a changeup. And a changeup's much easier to hit because it's slower than a fastball. So I was always, I remember Jack Morris. I hit Jack Morris really well when I first came to the big leagues. And then Jack Morris came up with this fork ball that I thought was unhittable at that time. But that's probably the answer.
I appreciate that. That's very insightful. Would you say you hit a particular pitch, more home runs off a particular pitch as well?
Hanging sliders go a long way, but I would think probably if we did a breakdown on type of pitches for home runs, probably a fastball more times than not.
Yeah.
But okay. But I used to love when you face a pitcher for the first time, especially when you had a couple of years in the big leagues. He would come out and he'd be all happy with his fastball, flaunting his fastball, and you could see that he liked his fastball and he was proud of his fastball and he thought you couldn't hit his fastball. So I like to go up there on the first pitch sometimes and hit that fastball. You hit a line drive really hard somewhere. Hopefully it's a hit. But you make a statement. You hit a line drive to left field, and you kind of hurt his feelings a little bit. It's like he's thinking, well, my fastball's not as good as I thought it was. And then I would look for a breaking ball the rest of the game. So anyway, that's just a few secrets that I had up my sleeve as a player.
That's great. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for taking my question.
You're quite welcome.
Very nice.
That's a cool question.
And I know he's going to sign the jersey now, and you'll get to see it on the signature camera. And it looks like, Fran, you have quite the setup there behind you, a good spot to put it up.
My rec room, one floor below, is like a museum. I actually have I have a Camden Yards seat number 8 signed by Cal. Some of my best memorabilia is on loan at the Babe Ruth Museum in Baltimore.
I couldn't find my 21-31 jersey for a little while, and I had loaned it out to different museums, and it came back from I think the Ripken Museum in a box. We just found that, thank goodness. So can I doctor this one up? Can I put a few things on it? I'll sign my name and maybe put a couple of descriptions on it for you. Is that okay?
Oh, that would be fantastic, Cal. Thank you.
I was just trying to look up on his baseball reference page which pitch he hit the most home runs off of, but I didn't have enough time to dig into it. I came back on camera.
You could find that? That's a stat now?
Listen, Baseball Reference, they got everything on that website. It's just I need to take a class in how to navigate it, but they have a lot of stuff on there.
21-31, 26-32.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Oh, my gosh.
2007. Can you see that?
Yes. Thank you, Cal. That is just fantastic. Thank you so much.
That's kind of cool. That's
Very
a one of a
nice.
kind. I just thought of that.
Thank you very much.
You're quite welcome, Fran. Good talking to you, man.
Good talking to you too.
Thank you so much, Fran. All right, Cal. That's all the meet and greet, but now we have a chance for our folks on social media to have a turn asking a question. So if you guys are watching this, make sure you're following Fanatics on Instagram, because on our stories, we'll put areas where you can submit your best question for each of our guests and have a chance to have it featured live on air like we're about to do right now. So we are going to start out with Steven for our first social media question.
Hey, Cal, my name is Steven Davis, and I'm a proud Baltimore Orioles fan living right here in Baltimore, Maryland. Also a FanChats rewards member. That's how I got this cool Cal Ripken Jr. jersey. I got a tough question for you, knowing you're a Baltimore boy like myself. What is your favorite place to get all-you-can-eat crabs in the Baltimore area? Thanks again, and let's go O's.
That's a great question. I will say since I retired, I've been living in Annapolis now, and I catch my own crabs and I cook my own crabs. And so
on your boat,
I can eat all the crabs I want. But there's a couple places. There's Cantlers down in Annapolis that I go to by boat now, and I brought my boat into the inner harbor. It takes about an hour and a half to get there, and I like to come in there and eat crabs. There's a lot of my favorite places in there, so I almost feel like I can't give you one off the top of my head. But being a Marylander, that's part of growing up, is figuring out how to eat crabs and how do you like them. But I will tell you, it was fun learning how to catch them and learning how to cook them at that time too. So that's what I'm enjoying now.
Hey, man of many talents. Okay, you can't put a top on that. You can do it all. Now we have Nate, who would love to ask his social media question.
I'm Nate Lombardo. I'm 10 years old. I live in Ramsey, New Jersey. My dad told me a lot about your career, and my question is that what was your favorite stadium to play in on the road? Thanks a lot, Cal.
That's a cool question. I was lucky. I get to play 21 years in the big leagues. 10 in Memorial Stadium and 10 in Camden Yards in Baltimore. Over 10 each one. They were two really great ballparks to play in. Boston Fenway Park was a unique experience. The Green Monster's so close to you. as a shortstop, it feels like it's right behind you sometimes. And the people are right on top of you, and they are fanatic fans. They love their baseball in that part of the country. So I always liked coming into playing the Red Sox in Fenway Park. If you were really good and the Yankees were really good, Yankee Stadium was a fun place to play.
Yeah.
But if you were really bad and the Yankees were really good, you don't want to go in there and get your butt kicked and then be told how bad they beat you by the fans. But Fenway Park probably was one of my favorites. It's a museum quality experience.
Oh, it's amazing. I'm assuming and hoping that you've signed inside the Green Monster.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
Yeah, my last year. It took me a while to get there, but I think it was in 2001 on my last year through I signed it.
Yeah, that was one of I used to do some reporting for the Braves, and that was one of the coolest things I've gotten to do in my career. Go back inside there and see all the greats that have signed inside the Monster. All right, now we have Jonathan, who has his social media question.
Hey Cal, I'm a huge fan. I was wondering, who's the toughest pitcher you've ever faced? Thank you.
God. There's a lot of pitchers that I could name, but I think I would tell you a little story. I came to the big leagues, and Goose Gossage was a pitcher for the New York Yankees, Hall of Famer, and he threw the ball 100-some miles an hour, and he was intimidating. So it took me a little while to get my feet on the ground with him. But once I found out that he was a pretty good guy, it almost took that intimidation factor away. So Goose was probably the toughest one for me to hit.
Okay. Now, Chance has a question for you. We'll bring in Chance.
Hey, Glenn, can I have
Hi, my name is Chance Gunciars. I'm from Frederick, Maryland. And I want to know, what was your first thought when you broke the record?
Good. Okay. I missed the question because I'm still messing with my voice.
He asked what your first thought was when you broke the record for most consecutive games.
Oh, thank goodness it's over. No, now I can rest. No, not at all. It was kind of weird is because when you play every single day, you keep the importance and the perspective of why you play every day. Mm-hmm. And I never felt like whatever happens. Just you live your life that way. But when they started planning for a celebration, then there was a finish line of sorts to reach. And that actually started to put pressure on me. I kept thinking, I don't play the game to be able to play tomorrow. I played today. And so that was a little uncomfortable in that year where, so I guess there was a sense of relief when it first happened. I think 21-30, the September 5th game, that game became official. You go home. I think I went home at 2:30 in the morning. And I was thinking, tomorrow's going to happen. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. So it felt like there was a sense of relief after 21-30, the tying game. And the next day was about showing up and trying to do well. But I tell you, I wanted to play well in those games, 21-29, 21-30, and 31. The California Angels were really good that year. We fell out of the pennant race, but we played a spoiler role in that series. We ended up sweeping them. We won all three games. I had a home run in 21-29, 21-30, and 21-31. So I was glad that the hoopla was kind of over because it felt like there was a lot to deal with instead of just playing. So I was really hoping it'd go back to normal.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, our last social media question is from Matthew, so we'll bring him in.
Aloha Iron Man, my name is Matthew Nebe from Los Angeles, California, and my question for you was just what inspired you to get involved with youth baseball following your playing days? Thank you for taking my question, and a huge shout out to Fanatics for allowing me to speak to someone as legendary as yourself. Thank you so much, take care, and aloha.
Yeah, you better watch out. He's going to take the job.
Yeah, he was ready, man. He's trying to host this show.
He was really
Watch
good.
out, Matthew.
Yeah, we're in youth baseball, and I think my brother Billy and I felt like we had the encyclopedia of baseball for a dad. And when we retired, we wanted to help kids be the best baseball player they could be. So we were trying to teach in Dad's spirit, and then we stumbled into the travel team baseball and playing games. So we have what is called the Ripken experience, where we try to give a kid some of the big league elements that Billy and I were lucky enough to play, and all the big leaguers are lucky enough to go in to play in places like Fenway Park. So we try to put our touches on the tournaments to make them feel like big leaguers. This many of people that play baseball get a chance to feel what Billy and I did at the big league level. But that doesn't mean you can't try to help them experience baseball in the best possible way. And so Billy and I feel that we've done a pretty good job of that. We've built 3 models that work, and we're looking to expand that. We have travel tournaments called Ripken Select that we go around, and we're expanding that way. So it's a wonderful time to be in youth baseball. But I appreciate the young man's feeling about baseball is that I guess it's been 20 years since I played, and I seem to derive more satisfaction out of watching other kids play and watching other kids experience the joy that baseball can bring you.
I think you've impacted more lives than you'll ever know. So I think everything that you're doing is awesome. I'm so sorry if you've heard my cat this whole time. She has apparently been extremely eager to ask you a question as she's locked in another room. But we're going to take one quick break, and we're going to be right back after we hear from today's sponsor.
Introducing the FanCash Rewards Credit Card by Fanatics. Earn 6% FanCash when you shop with your card on Fanatics.com with exclusive cardholder perks and 6-month special financing on purchases of $150 or more. Text now to apply or go to Fanatics.com.
So once again, today's show is brought to you by the FanCash Rewards Card by Fanatics. For more information on exclusive perks and benefits of being a cardholder, you can head on over to Fanatics.com, or you can just text FAN EVENTS to 94323 to apply now. Okay, Cal, this is the fun part of the show. This is the rapid fire question, and you have to answer with the first answer that comes ahead. All right?
Okay.
All righty.
When I played, I wasn't too fast, so.
Hey, you paved the way for the taller guys there. We love it. The Pirates have a 6'7" shortstop coming up through the system.
I saw that, yeah.
He's following in you. Okay, ready?
Yep.
Thing you missed most about playing?
Back of the bus.
Ooh, first concert.
I don't have an answer for that one.
Favorite concert?
I went to a concert. I went to see Heart in Kansas City on an off day early in my career. So
that's a good
that
one.
was cool.
Player in the big leagues right now that reminds you most of yourself?
I like watching Corey Seager. He's a big man, and I'm jealous of the fact that he makes plays with certain angles the way that I did, but he also makes plays like Ozzie Smith did too. So he's really evolved. So I can't say, but he's probably the biggest shortstop, and he moves and thinks at shortstop the way I used to.
Man, is he good? Your most memorable vacation?
Probably Australia. Or safari.
Okay, those are 2 very solid answers.
That's cool.
If you were playing right now and you had a walk-up song, what would it be?
No, I wouldn't.
You wouldn't have one. Walk out to dead silence, intimidation factor, baby.
I've had fun. My son is playing in the minor leagues, and I get a kick out of all the kids that pick their walk-up music. Because that's an important part of the game, and we do that for the kids at our tournaments. But I would not participate in that.
You know what, Cal? I like it. You just walk up there, dead silence, and let them know what's about to come.
That's it.
Is there a show you're currently binge watching?
Yeah. I have trouble retaining which shows. It seems like you start watching all of them. The morning show was good.
Yeah.
I think I've finished that. Truth Be Told was pretty good. I don't know if you is it Truth Be Told?
Have you gotten into Ted Lasso yet?
Yeah, Ted Lasso. I watched every one of that one.
Yeah,
that would probably be the best. If I thought quicker, not quick enough, Ted Lasso would have been the right answer.
That's a good one.
Thanks for giving it to me.
I got you. That's what I'm here for. As long as I get to go on the boat. Your first big purchase after making it to the show?
I bought a car, but it wasn't big purchase. I wanted to buy a Porsche, and I was a little bit too tall to fit into the Porsches I wanted. So I ended up buying a small BMW.
Oh, it seems, were you still too tall for that?
I crammed my way in that. I felt better not spending as much money.
There you go. Your favorite family activity?
Probably cooking and having a crab feast out back.
There you go. Okay. Who do you think is going to hit more home runs next year? Cedric Mullins or Ryan Mountcastle?
Oh, good one. I got to root for Mountcastle. You know, it was kind of fun. I had the rookie home run record for the Orioles for many years. I think it was 28. And he eclipsed that pretty easily this year. But I was glad he did. I mean, that kid could hit. So Mountcastle.
He's going to be a special player for a long time. And what is as we see, these predictions are hard, but what is your way too early prediction for the 2022 World Series matchup?
You know, I think I had 10 years doing some analyst work with TBS, and I hated that question the most.
Oh, good. Glad I asked it.
It's because when the teams get there, you know, they're playing, and the team that executes the best wins. I mean, you said that Atlanta had trouble at the halfway through point. They got playing really well. They built some momentum and carried that all the way through. So I think it's almost impossible to pick. But so I'm not going to answer that question either.
That's allowed. That is allowed. Well, we really can't thank you enough for all of your time on today's show. And Cal, I really do mean this. We work with so many incredible athletes on this show. You were so genuine with every single person and really took the time to talk to them. And this already, regardless of how genuine the athlete is or how much time the athlete spends with them, it's already a really special experience with them to get to talk to you guys one-on-one. But you really took it a notch up for them and just made this experience better than we could have asked for. So we really do appreciate your time. And I'm going to give you the floor if there's anything you'd like to say to anybody watching.
No, I mean, I enjoy people. I always have. I've watched people, and being in baseball, I was a little bit of an introvert. So baseball allowed me to kind of be out a little bit more. The autograph was a icebreaker in many cases, and you get a chance to hear and talk to people. Even signing in the memorabilia space, there's a lot of people. Every time I sign something or see something, it's sort of a memory that comes back to me, and I love sharing those memories. You know, that like I looked at the rookie card that I signed today, a number of them, and the background. I always ask somebody. I said, "Do you know where that picture was taken?" And it was a picture in spring training, and it was the old Atlanta Braves spring training site. It was in West Palm Beach, and that doesn't exist anymore. And I always tell them that's the site of my first professional homer. And it happened in the Florida State League in the 12th inning of a 0-0 tie.
There you go.
I had a home run to break the tie, but we were on the road, and a transformer blew, in the bottom of that inning. And there was some question whether we were going to erase that inning or not. So we end up getting the transformer fixed, and we end up playing the game, and my home run counted. But every time I sign that card, I think of that moment.
Well, I mean, really, you went above and beyond and made this special for everybody involved, including myself. And we really can't thank you enough, and hope you have a great rest of your day.
Yep, I had a great time. Hope you do too.
Thank you so much, Cal. Have a good rest of your day.
Thanks.
All right. So we hope you guys enjoyed that. He really was awesome to talk to. And we know he's one of the best to ever do it. And there's a lot more in the schedule for us at Fanatics Live. So coming up on November 9th, we're going to have our very first NIL athlete on the show. That's a wide receiver for Bama over there, and John Mechie the third. On the 11th, we're going to have Aaron Judge back on the broadcast, of course, a New York Yankee great. Right after that, on the 12th, we get a check-in with Ryan Donato of the Seattle Kraken. That'll be an exciting one. The newest team addition to the NHL. If you're not paying attention to hockey that much, it's going to be a really, really fun show. So make sure you guys are following us on social media at Fanatics to stay in the loop for upcoming shows, and look out for opportunities to submit your question, because we would love for you to be able to ask your favorite athlete a question that you've always wanted wanted to ask them. So for more information on how you can get involved or watch previous broadcasts, you head on over to fanatics.com/live. So as always, stay safe. We appreciate you guys, and we will see you so soon.